Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Mike and welcome back to AHC Garage. Another episode on our EM1 SI restoration project. In today's episode, we'll be working in the engine bay and get it cleaned up and get it ready for paint. Let's go ahead and get with Brian. This is what we have to do.
All right, Mike, so I'm gonna give you what you need to go ahead and sand this engine bay down. Now, all we're using is maroon scuff pads. This is equivalent to around 400 grit, okay? So it's got enough roughness on it, but not too much that it's gonna leave really, really rough scratches that we can't recover from. So basically what we're looking to do is feather it out. Now, in this engine bay particularly, it looks like it's just a base coat. There's not much clear on it, so it shouldn't be a problem. We already went ahead and started to feather out some areas, but if we see here, it's kind of like the paint's kind of weird, it's not even. And all you're gonna be doing, Mike, is taking your scuff pad and giving it a few passes, and you'll find that it's gonna feather out, which is gonna smooth out the transitions really easy. And that's good enough for me to put some sealer right over it. Take a look at that. Now you're gonna have some areas that are hard to get to, and this is why we use the scuff pad, because it can really get into those nooks and crannies. Now, what I want you to do first is I want you to blow all this out and maybe clean it up with some wax and grease or brake cleaner, and then you'll be good to go. Now, go ahead and scuff it up, and when you send it over to my department, I'll look it over, and if it needs any final, that's what I'll give it.
Alright guys, at this point we are ready to drop the subframe off. The first thing we're going to do is disconnect the steering column, then possibly unbolt the suspension there, and then a few more bolts, then the subframe should come right down. Let's get right to it. guys. Here we go.
I'm down. We're good.
All right, so the guys and Mike got this all up on the cradle, which is awesome because now we can have clear access to everywhere in the engine bay. That's something that you don't come across too easily. So what my job is from here is every nook and cranny I really need to make sure it's sanded well. As you can see in a couple of the areas, we're doing something called feathering, and that pretty much means smoothing out the transitions, the layers of paint. We don't actually need to primer it. That's the cool thing. We can actually use a sealer, which is a form of thinned out primer. So what you'll see me doing in the booth is I'll go ahead, I'll get everything masked up, and then we'll use a red sealer, same color as our base coat. We'll mix our base up and then we'll clear coat it. It's that easy. But to preface everything, if you got dirt in any of these areas, your paint is not going to stick. So we went around with the brush, we cleaned them all up, we hosed it down, let it thoroughly dry. We don't want any water in there when it comes to spraying. I'm gonna get back to work. We got a big day tomorrow. So we got the car all in here, we're ready to go. We're just gonna go ahead and tape it. We'll run tape on the edge here. We're only focusing on the engine bay. Later on, when we paint the rest of the car, we'll do the inside where all the rubbers are and make that nice and clean. But this is our focus now. I'm gonna go ahead and start taping it up. We're ready to seal. This is a sealer. It is a red sealer. This is not Milano Red, okay? but it's going to help us get good coverage. It's going to cover up all those bare spots and give us a good foundation for the base coat to lie. So let's hop into it. The sealer just went down, it's looking really good. It's time to mix up the Milano Red. So we go into the computer, there are actually a bunch of variants. So I come and search R-81, that's the color code. Now this color is actually made by Acura and Honda, obviously. So if we come over here into the Honda, we'll see that it has just a bunch of variants. I gotta say at least over 10. We're gonna go with standard, all right? That's the variant that we wanna paint the car in. We'll double click it, and we'll mix up our paint and we are good to go. So when we're mixing up this color, it doesn't just, you know, come with a red toner and that's it. There's gonna be some different toners that go in to make up the mix, some like purple or some white. So the first toner is toner 231, which is a red orange. And pretty much this is telling me I have to put 111.7 grams in, and then it will tell me how many grams of each toner to put in to get that exact precise mix. Bullseye. Every time. So the next toner is just a white, and it just needs just a little bit, just 3 grams. So go very slow with it. We don't want to overmix, or else we'll throw off the whole mix and have to add more. Okay. Bullseye, not every time. So the next one is going to be toner 725, which is like a violet. So that's when you'll see the kind of the purple in the color a little bit. When it's mixed in, you're gonna lose it, but without it, it won't be right. So let's see. And that is asking for 27.9. Hole in one. And so this is a violet, but a little bit more transparent. And the last thing is like a binder. It's gonna hold all the mix together so we can make it sprayable. If we didn't add this, then the paint would be loose, it would be all over the place. This is what holds the paint together. And the very last thing is our reducer. Now, if you were to spray this through our paint gun, the paint would not flow out. So the reducer breaks down the paint and makes it sprayable through our paint gun. So we saw the base, right? It's looking really good. It went on smooth, and then ready for the clear coat. I've given it shine and its protection. So we're going with a Tamco. It's a 4-to-1. It's a glamour clear, so it's going to have a little bit more clarity. It's going to be more resistant to UV. Obviously, it won't matter inside the engine bay, but we'll be using it on the rest of the car. So I'll go ahead and I'll pour in my mix. And then I'll use my hardener. Now, if I don't ever put this in, this will never harden. The two react together, and that's how it gets hardened. All right, just like that. I'll mix it up with a mixing stick. Slow motion. And we're ready to clear. So we're ready to lay down that clear coat. I'm not going to go too aggressive on the first coat. We got a lot of contours, hard to get to areas. I just want to get it on, and on the second coat I'll lay it in a little bit slicker.
Hey guys, that engine bay took a lot of hard work, but it came out incredible. This is beautiful Milano Red.
Yeah, so we got it all packaged, and we did that because we're going to be working on the rest of the car. We don't want dust, dirt free, overspray getting here, and now it's protected until the engine gets dropped in there.
If you guys like what you see, you guys want to make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and also turn on the notification.
Yeah, guys, and once again, thank you for helping us rebuild our community. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.